All right, Paul, so we're going to discuss how to strengthen the muscles around your spine so that you feel less uncomfortable. We can't necessarily fix the disc, but we can easily strengthen all of the muscles that are around it. And the main one that's going to be doing this is the transverse muscle. It's like a waist belt that wraps all the way around your body. But the only way that we're going to be able to engage this is with rotations or side planks that actually forces that muscle to engage and hold you strong. So apart from that and overthinking it, we don't want to be doing anything too strenuous. So I want you to start with a lighter weight if you can. If not, maybe even just don't use any weights and just do hand placements in slow movements. The main objective here is to breathe out on the muscle contraction so that you allow the fibers to carry over each other, engage, and then elongate and actually stretch them and cause micro tears. And those micro tears are what we need our nutrients for to repair, and then they become new muscle. And that's a very, very fine detail on how muscle is grown, but to an extent, you also need some resistance under that, some force or reasoning for that muscle to get better. You can't just go through the motion because your body will quickly adapt to this. Just like walking, you don't need new muscles to walk, to stand there for a long time. Your muscles have adapted to standing there for a long time. But the transverse muscles, we're not constantly doing this every single day. Although if you're a bricklayer or a carpenter or someone that digs a lot of dirt, they will, like myself. I grew up doing a lot of labor work, and one thing was shoveling dirt when I was a carpenter. So I've got really strong obliques compared to my rectus, but that's also doesn't help sort of the pressure on my back because I have gotten used to being crouched over and relaxed. What I want to do is help strengthen my rectus and my transverse muscles, which are not your oblique muscles, they're beneath, and tighten that up so that my whole core is in and engaged the whole time I'm walking around and doing activities. So with this exercise, if you've got the flexibility, I want you to straighten your legs out if you can. All right, that's already going to be putting pressure on your back. But if you can't, bend your knees in just a neutral position, and then start with a weight or no weight beside you. The opposite hand is going to be picking the weight up. This hand is going to be here for support. Okay, we don't want to be putting all our weight on here and doing nothing for this exercise. It's just here for a little bit of support, and we want to be picking this one up, breathing out as we rotate, and then coming back down. So we're not going all the way. We're also getting a rear delt workout here too, because we're doing a pulling motion. We're engaging our rear delts and our lats, but it's also coming down and working our transverse muscles because we're rotating our torso as one. Another concept to look into is tight hamstrings. Tight hamstrings could be pulling on your other areas of your back because all of your back muscles are connected in some way. So if you've got tight hamstrings or calves or tight traps, they all add up to shorten the length of all of your muscles in your back. So with all of our pressure being stretched a lot of the time, or the cantilever of our body coming from our lower back because we're leaning over, we're driving our car, we're doing a lot of our work in front of us, when our rectus is relaxed, all our pressure goes to our back. So we really want to be not overcompensating and rolling ourselves back, but in a way we need to do that so that we open our chest up and give our back a little bit of a break. But we're not going to be doing that because it's weird. So we just want to focus on these exercises that can strengthen that belt. The transverse is going to be the most valuable muscle that's going to help you and your back problems. So to pull a lighter weight, just start with a lighter weight, maybe 1 or 2 kilos, and just breathe out and feel the engaging core here. Your obliques are going to then engage the inner muscles of your transverse and rotate your upper body midsection as one. All right, and that's what's going to help it. The further you can go, the more you're going to be using that transverse muscle. But you might want to start with just smaller movements. All right, I already feel tight hip flexors here from being up like this. But you could probably even start with cross legs. That's still going to activate. It's just going to be more comfortable. So you just want to rotate around, pick the weight up, and come back this side. Don't put it down, come back this side. We're just working one side at a time. So the opposite side that you're going to be picking up from is going to be engaging here. All right, and that transverse muscle comes all the way around and into the back. So the further you can come around, the more you're going to be engaging it. Another exercise that you could do with just a broomstick, let's grab it. Or any stick for that matter. Have this placed up on your shoulders, not on your neck. All right, hands are just behind it to help push. I'd sit on a seat that's about sort of 90 degrees so you can keep your legs in nice and close and rotate as far as you can, and you'll feel it pulling here in the obliques, but also stretching this side. We're going to use this as sort of like a warm-up or an opener and a flexibility exercise. The more you can do, the further you'll end up getting to go and loosen up the back. But as I pull around the opposite way, this leg wants to go this way to counter-react that contraction. That's going to tell me that I've got tight muscles. So I need to either loosen up my hamstrings and my quads because they're all tight and bunched up here, making my abs really tight. So if I'm pulling this way, it wants to lift up with me too. So you could definitely start with these. These are just broomstick swings, and I'd probably hit upwards of 50 to 60 of those on each side. So like 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and work your way through loosening up your transverse muscles. Then you start adding a little bit of resistance with weight. You could start with no weight, just your hand placements. Pretend you have picked something up. Rotate your shoulders and whatever you've picked up. In that motion, work together as one. So you're not doing this. All right, we want to contract and move our whole midsection as one, so that belt is getting activated more and more. And then as you start stretching a little bit more before your workout, you're going to be able to loosen up those muscles and actually contract them a little bit further. So I hope this helped you out, and let us know how it goes.